Hello everyone, I'm Forrest McFreelava and this is Speedplay Netherlands number 17. So, we start off without a coalition against us for the first time in quite some time. We're basically in a good spot. We don't have the ability to lower autonomy in anywhere that wouldn't lead to revolt. We are, at this point, just looking for a place we can declare war on without drawing anyone in against us. Unfortunately, France is the defender of the Catholic faith. I'm not entirely certain when they picked that up. But that means we really can't declare war on anybody, so we go ahead and just build a few buildings to increase our manpower. As, quite frankly, if we can't declare war on anybody and we don't have a coalition against us, this is basically the first good time we've had this entire game to build up infrastructure in our own country. We finally get enough admin points to core that last area we just took in the last war, and we're going to go ahead and focus now on cutting the Spanish off from jutting into the heartland of, I guess, Canada and that area. Meanwhile, we do get our armies more or less ready. I notice we have a very large number actually, of mercenaries, although we may start moving them out of the picture and putting in regular soldiers. We get a rather bad event that's going to make things slower for us for a while. Now we can go to war against Austria. The French will join us. However, they are allied to a significant portion of the world, so we're probably not actually going to do that just yet. Now what we can do, since we are at very high levels of military power, is just go ahead and increase the development of our provinces militarily. That mixed in with the new buildings should help a bit. Also, we're going to finally take over the Yucatan Peninsula. Mexico has been independent for quite some time. I try to get our Mexican colonial nation to declare war on them, but they just sort of won't. So we'll have to take this into our own hands. Although we do have 40,000 men we can just ship over and start dealing with all of the issues in the region. And that's basically going to be the goal. We go ahead and just land and immediately declare war, because quite frankly, why not? They're not allied to anybody and we're not doing anything better. We nearly lose that first battle with half of our force, but we just bring the other half over and win it out loud. And they have 3 forts, one of which, well, basically both of which are just right in front of their capital. So we go ahead, siege those out, and defeat their army, and start sieging their capital with just our entire force. And that really just took a couple of months, so those forts, not exactly worth it if you're Mexico, but whatever, it worked alright. They aren't able to be annexed in one war. They are over 100% war score. But we go ahead and just declare war on Haiti, and we'll deal with them later, or hopefully our colonial nation will feel bold enough to deal with them on their own. Now we do go ahead and just land in Cuba and attack the Haitian capital, then split our forces and march down the provinces. Admittedly, this is so much easier than what we've been doing in Europe that it is ridiculous. These 40,000 men would have gotten us just far enough to lose a terrible battle and a lot of men. But in the New World, it's enough to just completely destroy 2 countries in the course of about a year, without really anything resembling resistance. Which kind of makes me think that we should go over to Asia and maybe deal with issues there. However, at this point, we'll just clean up the New World at least a little bit and see where that gets us. And at this point, Haiti is nearly completely overrun. We still haven't cleaned out England. We have kicked them off of their home islands, and now they're still alive and just being a problem in Africa. So we'll go and deal with that. We also didn't actually deal with Brittany, which was called in by Haiti due to a very odd alliance between the two of them. So we go ahead and just smash the Britannian armies and just split our force up to siege them out entirely. we do go ahead and improve some forts where we have the opportunity, as not all of our forts on the border are really as good as I would want them to be. We'll get everything up to being a 4-star fort, and meanwhile we're almost there, closing off Central North America. There's still no great thing. However, a few countries do join the coalition against us. I thought we were beyond that. However, it appears as though they were just waiting for an opportunity, which has just shown up. So that's very worrying. While we were distracted with the rest of the world, they are taking advantage at home. What we did do, though, we are at war with England, so we'll go ahead and just clean them out of Africa, maybe making them a vassal, as they are showing themselves to be pretty prominent at colonizing despite not having an actual homeland. Meanwhile, our colonists are sent to clean up this remaining section, and we declare war on the Shoshone. We continue landing our forces against the English, and we fight the really only battle we're going to end up fighting against Shoshone forces. Although it turns out they just flee, so we'll have to deal with any stragglers. Meanwhile, we look, and it is actually the case that England is in Southeast Asia, including a capital in the Philippines. So the English Philippines are going to be a bit of a problem. The Shoshone force aren't actually dead yet. Brittany is fully occupied though, so we go ahead and just take all of their colonial possessions, as well as a few other things. We're not actually going to take any land on the mainland. We also take everything but Cuba from Haiti, and continue to not kill the native army. So we bring all of our forces over against the remaining English territories, and we get a nice little event. So at this point, I'm not entirely sure what it'll take to... Okay, their army is dead. That is great news. They just ran off and died to natives. And at this point, we're not taking very much naval attrition, so we're just going to take our navy all the way to the end of England. They are being sieged out by Ryukyu, interestingly enough, and unfortunately Scandinavia has called us into a war against France. We're just not going to answer their call of arms, because France is definitely a better country to have on our side than Scandinavia. I'm very sorry to Scandinavia. At least this way it opens them up for our expansion. Now, England does still control their capital. We do just land our army on them, and just like that, they're willing to make peace. So we go ahead and take everything they own in Africa and just sort of push them further east, where there'll be a problem later on. Or maybe they're not going to be. They are next to Muscovy and its Philippine colony, so maybe that'll take care of them. At any rate, we're nearly done with all of these wars. The Shoshone just need to be occupied. We do advance our tech enough that we get access to all sorts of advanced casus belli, which is amazing news. We also can make client states, which I wish we had gotten earlier. At any rate, we begin building up our armies for a European conflict. It looks as though France is not getting the best end of their current war. However, they're still willing to join any Europeans, as they are still Catholic Defender of the Faith, which is a bit annoying. Hopefully they lose one of their wars and lose the title. At any rate, we continue construction of more military-style buildings in order to just make our military better on its own. We blow through a lot of money doing that, but it's completely worth it. Unfortunately, we can't improve relations with Scandinavia enough that they'll bridge the gap of our relations, and we can't get them back into an alliance. Meanwhile, all of our forces were just shipping back to the Netherlands proper, as we are getting ready for another European war, no matter who we can declare against. We just need to get into a war that will get at least one member of the coalition to join separate of the rest of the coalition, and that way we can start breaking it apart without having to fight the entire thing on its, really as it would like to fight us. Now, I'm not concerned about them declaring against us, as we do have a significant number of major European powers on our side. We do get a new election. We go back towards the statists, so we should get elections more frequently from now on. And at this point, I'm just looking for a person we can fight. It looks as though Aragon will probably be our golden ticket, although I'm not entirely certain. We do also have a massive army, almost entirely made out of mercenaries, which is a bit of a problem. We do build in another entire 40 stack of transports, and we just get rid of our mercenaries. With all of the improvements we've made to our country, we should be able to handle more armies made up of our own soldiers. So we go ahead and combine our 2 stacks that are under 40,000, and we'll just fill them out to become a new 40 stack. We'll just make a quick template and delete it. And just double check very quickly that everything is really as upgraded as it can be, at least with our fortresses, as that is one of our major concerns. Now, we don't really have any defenses in our East Prussia type of territory, but that hopefully won't matter all that much. We're probably not going to defend it if it comes to a war. That's something that we'll probably just abandon. We really should fortify it so it takes longer for enemy armies to march through. Hopefully, though, at some point we'll take the bit of land that Bohemia owns around Danzig. So Danzig will be the justification for one of our wars later on, and hopefully that won't prove to be too destructive for us. Now, it doesn't look as though there's really anywhere we can go. We do have a few more options, though, for places we can declare war on. Aragon will probably be our best bet, allied as they are to Portugal and Austria. We have a large enough army that I'm confident we can take on the Austrians in Europe without any of our allies, and it'll be a great test for our new armies. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Next time we'll see if I'm correct and if our armies are actually strong enough now to take on a major European power one-on-one.